project, but none more important than the man who designed the set and the spacecraft and the gun and the whole production design of the entire show, without whose concepts and brilliance and genius, none of this would be happening today. And if I could remember his name.
Hey, I didn't get my shot.
Oh, I'm sorry. How about a big hand for Chuck Davis?
Well, it all is initiated with a story conference with the producer, and in this case we were fortunate enough to have the cinematographer as well. And out of that came a style that we all agreed on.
Tell us about the designing of the shuttlecraft.
They were designed modularly so that we could have the capabilities of expanding them to make them larger. In one instance, one vehicle that is not shown here on stage is over 60 feet long, and that appears in the first landing at the refinery. That vehicle then, by removing modules, we could reduce it down to the size of this, and a further reduction, and it gets it down eventually to the size of the small fighters. 7 noses and tails, 5 vehicles which we used and will use today, and 2 of them we blew up. If we show people getting into one of these, and then we show one of these approaching the mothership, and it becomes a very minute dot compared to this huge craft, now we're starting to say something about the direction that we're trying to go with size. The miniatures are direct replicas to these. So the miniatures are geared off of what we've established in full size. They're used in the motion control process that allows us to marry up the miniatures with our full-size sets. I don't think you can really do anything wrong, because who's to say what the inside of this would really look like? And that's where some of the fun came in, because in my department, with the staff of people that we have, tremendously talented people, they all had their ideas and their input. And in many instances, I just became a funnel that all that talent poured into, and I got to rechannel it where it best applied. They helped come up with the concepts of being able to make it longer or shorter, and the ways to move it. They never have any problem blowing them up.
Right. Well,
You give these guys a chance, they'll blow up darn near anything.
we've blown one up twice. We blew it up and brought it back into our facility on stage here, stage 2. Rebuilt it in 4 days and blew it up again. And actually, I think it looked better the second time.
But it's not worth fixing again.
No.
It's a fun project to put together.
Enormously fun.
We were higher than this, Bobby, weren't we? Yes, we were. Because I was up a couple of rungs, and the lens was right over my head. Okay, Richard, Jenny, on the ship, please.
Where's that white line we had?
The chalk mark has been picked up. No, that's not it.
Oh, right there it is.
No, it was right.
Okay, that's the mark.
No, that's wide. Right around in here.
That's the mark right there.
Where, here?
No, over to your right, left. Sorry. Back up, right.
Jeannie, give me a number if you're on.
I think the bottom frame line was lower than that, John.
It shouldn't be,
Okay.
if you want to have the guys in the catwalk.
Yeah, that's what we had. I think so too. Yeah, we're just on the set, right? Okay. Okay, let's do it. You guys on the catwalk, no spitting. Here we go.
Turning.
Barker.
And background. Action. Here. Here, all right.
There, a little more.
The background who are passing the Earth people might give them a couple of glances and check them out a little bit. It's the first time you're seeing them on board here. Same with the fellas upstairs. Take a looking down a little bit, you know, trying to see what you can see. Checking out the Earth females. You're going to be here for a while. Janie works next with Jenny and
Richard, up on the top. Okay, and some background people in the background coming along behind. We'll be up there, pumping this way. Then we'll jump into the far end and come across. I was watching all those rehearsals. Yeah, well, that's what I was rehearsing them up there. So we'll come across them into the main body of the show. That was the piece that we were going to shoot at CBS, and we'll do it here instead. Okay.
Jack?
Well, it's a shadow recorder. How tight on Jenny am I? I'm right into here. Jimmy here, I'm on 100 millimeter, which is full figure, a little more than full figure, walking down to Sharon and Cynthia at the far end. Full figure, Jimmy, don't do anything repulsive. And then we'll put all the plate shots at the end, and then we'll play musical spacecraft and juggle it around at the very end. How much more do we have? On Richard? Oh, he's got to go soon, doesn't he? After lunch, maybe. At least I got this shot and one more, and we'll be okay. We should be able to get him out by noon. That's okay. That's fine. So I can see.
1 second. Wait a minute. Okay.
Okay, ready, Jimmy, and action!
Well, V is a story about many things at once. It's the story of the takeover of the Earth from another planet, people from another planet. But it's also the story of how people respond during wartime. Some people won't allow their neighbors any space for hiding. And other people say, yes, you can come into my house, I'll protect you because all men are my brothers. Other people bury their heads in the sand. And so it's a story about, it's an adventure story. It's a mystery and it's an adventure, but it also touches on the way human behavior works. Well, I think there are some of us who look at obstacles as insurmountable, and there are some of us who look at obstacles as challenges to overcome and opportunities to better ourselves and to live up to our own promise as human beings. The guy that I'm playing is Mike Donovan. He's a person that tries his best to live up to the promise of being a human being. He feels a sense of responsibility toward other people, so he doesn't lie down under the yoke when the Earth is being taken over. He fights back. He becomes the strong arm of the resistance. He does what the man on the other side of this lens does in real life. He's a photographer. A news cameraman is what he is, and that allows him access into the alien craft and also gives him a nice standpoint to view all of humanity. Very often, newsmen are allowed to go places that the rest of us civilians aren't able to go, and so it provides a good format for this guy to get in where the bad guys are and see what they're doing. I had to do some very strenuous special preparation for this. I had to keep down the bubble of enthusiasm and joy so that when I got on the set, I looked like a professional and wasn't giggling in front of the cameras all the time. And the second thing that I had to do was our producer, Chuck Bowman, was very kind in establishing liaisons between myself and real news photographers and real news teams. And in that way, I was able to assimilate some of the real aspects of the heroism of these people's professions. I don't think that any of us know exactly what kind of heroes are in different trades in our society. But I think some of the greatest heroes that exist are in the news profession, those people that bring us tapes from destruction in El Salvador, and people that bring us tapes of the Vietnam crisis and things like that. These are people that lay their lives on the lines so that humanity can be informed as to what it's doing and how to rectify situations that it doesn't like. It's a nice thing being an actor because when you portray a fellow that has such strong characteristics as Donovan does in V, they begin to rub off on me, Mark Singer. And so I begin to have some of those same traits and learn from this show. And hopefully the good qualities of our heroes in this production of V will also have a positive effect on the audience that watches us. V presents a very wonderful opportunity for an actor because we're limited as actors only by the scope of our imagination, which means that as far as we can imagine the universe is as far as we can go with our imaginations. So in V, sometimes we're working with actual people, and sometimes we're working with optical effects. And when we're working with optical effects on V, it allows the actor the opportunity to let his imagination run rampant. And basically all I can tell you is that when it comes to dealing with special effects, you're looking at a spaceship that isn't in fact there. If you've been given a description of what is there, the excitement of what the audience is going to see generally fills that imaginative gap for you. This is a best work converter. your best acting goes in here and comes down these little tubes, and goes around the other side, comes out as close-ups, which drop on the editing room floor.
And then on out.
And then I'll start my move. Or should I come back to here again? I guess it's best to do it just.
I think you just slide back that way. That's what I think I do.
Why don't you start right here and walk that way?
Keep going. Another 20 feet. Go, Mark.
Coming through.
Well, did you see the guys down in here? I did. That's what he was doing. The idea being that, okay, and then he goes as we said, just as the guys are passed, then he goes. How's the Zoom work? Is that okay? Do you believe in this?
It's yeah.
Sure, Zion was it too.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. It's hard.
Let's try it again. Let's rehearse it one more time. Watch your toes.
Pretty well in there. Sidelines, but it doesn't matter to me. Does that work okay?
Yeah. But I just want to make sure that it all comes to that. We see them, and we see you see them, and we see you duck back.
Yeah.
And, you know. Yeah. What? Ready, Rick? Close the door. I hope so. Harder. And background. Doors. Pan, Ricky. Tommy.
Unit 14, stand by for venting operation. Tanker Unit 14, stand by for venting operation.
Action, Mark! Now that they're starting to take the chemical out, take the shot and you inch, like you said, inch back to get a better angle.
Okay.
Yes, and feel the wind.
And that, well, now I'm out of the line. Oh, here, okay, gotcha.
When you try to open it on the right-hand side, so it doesn't look like you know it's going to open on the left. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Wind, right, here.
From San Diego at 2150, 2200.
Okay, let's go. And turning.
You mean
Marker. And action. Background. Come up. Got it, and feel the air, lean back a little bit. Gee. Print that. Let's do one more. Who sent that background person through? What a drag it is to bring this stuff all the way up here to dump it out in the atmosphere.
What a waste of time bringing all these chemicals up here and dumping them out.
And ducking through the cage. How fast was the zoom? It was about 1, 2, 3, 4. Right. Okay, good. Print it. Let's go around, guys.
They'll be contained within cryogenic tanks.
Cryo.
Cryo?
Yeah.
Cryogenic tanks. Cryogenic. Super cool for maximum efficiency in storage. Well, now you also mentioned living quarters for the crew. How many are there on each ship? It varies.
Richard, come on in.
Can we talk to some of them?
Oh, you will, Christine.
Right now?
Do it again. It's too hot. Gotta go around to our curve right, Ricky. It's got a backlight. We'll go back in your face.
Doug, how's that?
One more. It's too hot. 4.
Okay.
Good. It's for 3D. Okay.
The idea of the curve, which is great because it follows the curve of the mother ship,
Right.
and all of that.
It just reflects all that.
Yeah, but can we get them so that they're bigger in the foreground like they are here? So that when, if he comes in then, and it's dark, and we all we see is this intestine-like thing around him, we don't know what it is, and we light it with so that it's damp and shiny and scary. And then he gets up to here, and the lights come on. Martin turns the lights on, and we see all of these. He reacts, still not sure what it is, and then I cut into the closer angle when the lights come on in the very foreground here at the end. And he sees what they are. And then for the reverse, I just cheat him over against one way or the other. Or I can reverse right into here. Yeah. So if Donovan's here, looking at Quentin, let's say here,
facing that way, then I can come around this way and have more cocoons behind him.
Right. Can it go upstage, or is that what the goal is?
There we go. They win.
Keep going, keep going.
Another foot or so.
Look out for that junior.
Oh! That's good.
Move that a little bit to my right. Camera right.
Which one?
That last one on the left side.
Jimmy.
I'll tell you how. Where do we get some people in there? Can we see first team standing there? Yeah.
How are they gonna do? Watch this. First team.
Height in 185, and we see their feet.
You got Denny, hold on here. Denny, you got Denny's head height?
In 185, you got it.
Great.
Yeah, and it's great.
Okay.
Let's go, or we have to sit here through another one. And the thing's frozen on the clutches, so
I love it when you wiggle it back and forth, David.
Yes. Very good.
I think the story, more than anything, is a human story. I mean, more than what the trailers are saying, and more than what the promotions are saying. I think it's a story about people banding together, and how kind of ridiculous world war and wars between nations seem when you're faced with something a lot bigger. And I think it shows people from all walks of life getting together and just looking at the unimportance of racial prejudice, of just fighting with each other when they see something that's a lot bigger than they are. My character is wonderful. She's a med student. She does research in the biochemistry lab, and also does rotation. She's in her 3rd year, so she does rotation at the hospital. And what she wants more than anything is to be a doctor and maybe go into research. And all of a sudden, she's faced with something that pushes her into a position of getting this thing over with, so she can go back to her work and go back to life as it normally is. She grew up as a conformist. She's a Republican, and she really doesn't want to have anything to do with this. But it all happened so quickly that she doesn't have a chance to think about it. She just moves and does it.
Yeah, he's going to bail out when they go through the gate.
Speed camera, Mark. Action on the trucks, Jimmy. All right, press down. Let's do one more.
When you see this gentleman through the window of this vehicle, he's way to the left of it, 30 feet. From Bill's shot, you're going to have to cut out of it too quick.
Steve, jump off a little sooner then so that you got a shot at stopping and throw the Molotov cocktail.
When is he going to run in? He's going to run in as the resistance fighter jumps off and is about to throw it. No, go more to your left, Steve, so you're more lined up in. Yeah, a little more this way. So when he throws it, you can really duck back as the flames come at you, okay?
I won't block him, the man getting off the truck, will
Boom! Fire and duck back through it? Yeah. So?
Well, the jump off is not good.
He's awfully little back there. He's crouching so low.
Rolling.
It's really kind of an ensemble thing. I mean, all of the characters start out as separate entities and separate units. The families start out as just separate family units. And they all intertwine during the film because their lives are kind of shoved together and pushed together. People from all different walks of life. And I think Julie is kind of a catalyst because she is the one that does things when nobody else will.
they'll be sitting around a room, and somebody says, well, somebody should do that. And everybody says, yeah, well, somebody should do it. And she just says, well, all right, I'll do it, you know. And she was probably the one that did that in high school and did it, you know, always did it.
Nice one, bud.
No, I got out of breath, man. I was running. You guys okay? I couldn't talk.
One thing
I took the breath from him, you know? And he said, don't breathe. Well, I didn't take a breath just before I went down, and I went, I was running out of breath.
But good.
Ricky, what is a 75? About a full figure from there, right? 2 figures? That's okay. That's good.
Let's get the lady coming off the truck with a Molotov cocktail. Okay, and pan her over this way, and then come back and grab what we can through the fire here, so that it's real, you know, compressed.
It killed me for the people getting out of the
truck. All right, well, Inky, we'll bring the fire down just a touch, okay? So that I've got it, but not blotting me out. Yeah, let's have it burning as she's running across there, so we don't have to bother with lighting it, and then we'll gun from the other side as she throws. Yeah.
Now, Ken, girl's coming out of the truck with a Molotov cocktail, right?
Right.
Now, if she is over to the camera right of that truck, I will see her. Otherwise, the flames are going to kill her coming out.
Okay, well, we'll have her coming down out of the right side, and then we'll take her right across to the...
blue,
all right, watch this.
Where does she go to?
All right, the lady with the Molotov cocktail. Janet?
You know, you see a lot of other space stories, and it's all action-packed adventure, and very little, the actors have very little opportunity to do any good acting. And we've had some real nice opportunities here, and there have been some good performances from so many talented actors.
Now, what about his height, his eye height? Because we were talking about this being higher. We were talking about this being higher than where Donovan would be seen. Is this still 8 feet perspective?
We can drop it.
So, well, no, I don't think we should drop it, so that because I think we ought to be higher than he is.
But I'd like not to do 2 mats.
No, we shouldn't do 2 mats. But
we
just ignore the fact that it's above his eye height.
Exactly. We'll shoot that off of his reaction when he first comes in.
Yeah.
Which will overlap off of the stage, studio center.
Right.
Him coming through the door, cut to this.
Cut to this. Okay. Walk him out of that and walk him into this.
Exactly. And we should take a beat here.
Yeah.
And let him turn back to us so we know who he is.
Yeah, neat.
Is that about?
Yeah, I think it's good.
Okay.
It's good. Did you see the sweatshirts?
Can you flash it? Hey, listen. That's all right. It's neat.
We all get that, right? As a matter of fact, we do.
Do we? No.
Can I get everybody to listen up? Is everybody here? A lot of us have worked together before, but nobody on this crew has worked any harder than they've ever worked on this one, I'll tell you. And I wanted you all to have something to remember other than your overtime. And so you've gotten these together for everybody. Woo!